block I call stepping geese because they step up. I've seen it on the internet before and I never knew the name of it. I just saw the block and then 4 of these blocks put together, which I'll show you in just a minute. Here's the diagram. It's all flying geese and then just 2 big chunks of the background that you're going to cut. If you're going to make a lot of these, I suggest you use the flying geese alternative with the no waste 4 at a time flying geese, because you can make 4 at a time of the same fabric and use them in different blocks. I just think it would be a little bit faster to cut and to piece, and you don't need any special tools for it either. And there's a code you can scan to see a tutorial, see my tutorial on it. Here are the cutting instructions. Here are the rotary cutting instructions. You need 1 rectangle that's 4 by 8 inch finished. So you're going to cut that 8.5 by 4.5. That's the background. And here is the AccuQuilt. If you have the 8-inch cube, you can use it to cut this block. The second part is a 4-inch finished square. This is also the background, and you cut it 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. Now for the background of the flying geese, you'll need to cut squares that are 2 7/8 inches and cut them in half once diagonally. You'll need 24 patches, so you will need 12 of these squares and cut each one in half diagonally to get your 24 background patches. And then we have our flying geese, which will be quarter square triangles, 4-inch finished. You'll cut a square that's 5 1/4 inches and then cut it in half diagonally twice to get your 4 patches. So these will give you 4 of the same patches, and you'll need 12 of them all together. So if you want all different patches, you'll have enough to make 4 blocks, but you'll cut 12 of these squares. So you cut 12 squares and cut those in half twice, and you'll have 48 pieces here. I mixed up most of them. I did have a couple of duplicates, but I don't think it's going to matter a bit. And then down here, if you want to make a 9-inch block, I tell you what sizes to cut. Here are my pieces. Here are the background triangles. Here are the flying geese fabrics. There are 12 of them. And here are the 8.5 by 4.5 and the 4.5-inch square. Now let's go and piece the flying geese. Here are my 12 flying geese, all finished. When I stitch flying geese, I always stitch one side on first. So I'll take all these 12 or however many you have and just chain piece and stitch one side first and press the seam open. Then I take the next side and stitch all those next sides and then press that one open as well. Then you're finished. And this is for rotary cutting or for the AccuQuilt method because you have 2 small triangles and 1 large triangle. If you're using rotary cutting, you'll have little nubs you need to cut off. On the top here, all the points will have little nubs you need to cut off. And it's easier to cut those off, and it's easier and more accurate to sew that way. Now let's put the block together and see what it looks like. Just follow the diagram and sew each column, and then sew the columns together. Here's the block. They're all stepping. And here's the back, all seams pressed open. And next I'm going to make 3 more of these and put them together in a block. Here it is with 4 blocks put together. Can't see the whole thing at once, but I think this would be a really great medallion to put in the middle of a quilt and then do flying geese around it or something. And I wonder how it would look if it was on point. It probably wouldn't look as good on point. It kind of looks like a square on point. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you make one of these. It was really fun, and it's so colorful.